Hello, folks, and welcome to Got Your Back live stream weekend Sunday edition. Yes, we know you're all getting fired up for the slate of NFL games today, but we figured you might need a hockey fix as well. So Struds and I are going to hop on here and do a little live stream brought to you by Mr. Dirk. Going to try and take some of your questions, some of your comments. Hear what you have to say about the Oilers' recent road trip, about that win last night in Vegas. Pretty good win against the division leaders. Interesting stuff. And of course, Got Your Back is brought to you by Mr. Dirk, located just off White Avenue and 102nd Street. Mr. Dirk, your one-stop shop for all of your clothing needs. If you're a businessman and you want to look fantastic at your next meeting or just show yourself and everybody that you're on point, that you got your game. And they got a wide selection of amazing suits and shirts, ties, shoes, everything you need to make that statement that you're on it. And if casual is what you need, plenty of that as well. Jeans, pants, shirts, sweaters, belts, and shoes. Mr. Dirk, great place for quality clothing of all types. All right, time to check in with Jason Strudwick. Struddy, can you hear me, pal?
Oh, I got you, buddy. I'm in. I'm ready to rumble Sunday morning.
To rumble. Now, when you say rumble, do you mean rumble like with the people on the live stream with us? You looking to get into it this morning, or like where are you at?
Not really. I think unless we're going to talk about trading for a defenseman, I think, and what the cost is. No, yeah. I shouldn't say that. Not trading for a defenseman. The cost. What the cost is. So let's. Yeah. There's a lot of other things. We've had that discussion many times.
We have
probably sidestep it for now.
Yeah, I don't know. Can we go a whole podcast without the Chychrun debate? I'm not sure if we can. I don't know.
Crazy.
Let's try. Or actually, maybe that'll make people tune out. So you know what? Let's see where the people want us to take this. So we are live streaming. I think we're live streaming on YouTube today. I had some trouble with that. I think last podcast I said, unfortunately, we're not streaming on YouTube. And then I looked after and it was like, yeah, no, you were streaming on YouTube. So YouTube and on Twitter, I think we're live streaming on both, which is should be fun. So by all means, send us your thoughts. I also asked for your thoughts on the trip and the game on Twitter just a short time ago. So check that out and respond, and we'll get back to some of that in a little bit. What's your Sunday looking like, Struddy? How is this? We don't do a lot of Sunday pods, my man.
Yeah, well, I just got off the ice. My one son had a practice, and now we'll do this. And then my son's in minor hockey week, the other one. So we're busy day. And then Giants football at 2:30. So like, what a day. Yeah. My God, 2 hockeys, a podcast, and a Giants game. Holy jeez.
That's a good day, man. That's a good day in the Strudwick household. Yeah. So I mentioned, I think yesterday that, someone says, Shella Mo fan says, over the Chychrun talk right now. Let's talk about Vinny. That's awesome. Yeah, and we will talk about Vinny. By the way, we're going to talk about Vinny Desharnais in our takeaways segment. So we're going to do our breakdown first, talk about the game last night. He may come up in there, but we're going to do a focus section on Desharnais. So stick around for that, because a good performance from him last night, and he started putting a dent in things. So we'll get to that in a minute. But I was mentioning yesterday my son was moving, right, taking the practicum and Kamloops. So yesterday was the day he got in the car and drove away, and I came home and I was like, oh man, like this is 4 months, right? I'm either going to lay on my couch and play Xbox all day and just be an absolute lump, or I'm going to get something done. So did you see what I did, Struds? Did you see what I did?
I couldn't help but notice you told me right away, and then reminded me numerous times to comment on it during the pod. Hey, tell me how good it looks. I'm like, geez.
I redid my background. I mean, it took you 8 months to redo your background. I decided in an afternoon and redid it.
Right.
So.
But I had to get mine. Mine was, I was outsourcing it, right? Someone was getting it done for me. I can't paint like this. Come on. But it looks good. No, you look really nice. Buddy.
I appreciate that thing. And what I'm going to try and do here, so I don't know if this might screw everything up, but I'm going to try and zoom out a little bit so you can kind of see more. This may or may not work. Hang on. Let's see if this works. Oh, look at that. I can do it.
Very nice.
Look at that.
Very nice.
Actually,
I love
do you like the wider view? Do you like that better?
I think I do.
Little less headspace. Oh, you can see my Darth Vader up top there. Little less headspace. Like if I do that.
Yeah, it looks good.
Do you think that's better? You get the whole microphone in there and everything?
I think it's nice. We want to,
less my giant head and a little more. Yeah, I might do that. I like it.
Do you have a big head? I think that's fair. I think you do. So
I got a big head, bud. I mean, you got a giant head too. Like you have a monstrous mouth. Yes, you do.
I've got a big body.
Guy, but yeah. So like my head would be appropriately sized for your body.
Sure.
That's kind of the type of head I have. Like I'm the guy that's like that head is too big for that body.
If you're 7 feet tall, your head would be perfect, right? Okay. But at 5'8", it's a little bit big.
That's taking it a little far. Oh, getting some comments. Oh, Detox81. This is the Weiss Johnson Twitter mentions, by the way. Love the hats, gents. We both got the black hoodie, black hat memo today, by the way. Like we're what else we got here? With Kane's imminent return, who gets punted to Bako to make room? There's a good one. Maybe you got a quick answer for that one? That question came to us from RD Express Pros.
Yeah, it's good. That's a tough decision, man. That's because it's got to make cap sense, right? It's not just body in, body out. Oh man. Is it? Yeah, can't see it being Janmark. Do you?
Oh God, no.
See it being Janmark.
No chance, Lance.
Like Janmark, Costin, I think, have asserted themselves in those spots. Yeah. So who's up for grabs? It would have to be Fogle, Puljujärvi, and Ryan. Is that who makes cap sense?
Well, sure. What's the Shore situation?
I don't think he makes enough.
Yeah. You know, we need Gregor on here because he's the math. He's the math nerd, so we need Gregor on here.
I don't think that Shore makes the difference. Because remember, what is Janmark at? Is he at a million? I have to look it up.
Take a look. Million change, I think.
Yeah, I might be wrong, but I think it has to be someone with a bigger cap hit. So now, listen, I'm going to say something here, and everyone just understand what I'm saying. But someone may come down with an injury, if you know what I mean, between now and
nudge, nudge, wink,
Tuesday.
Nudge.
Yeah, someone may come down with an injury.
Niemelainen? Oh no, never mind.
It doesn't make enough. So yeah, he's 1.25 is Janmark. So I think it has to be someone that or higher because that's what made him camp compliant before.
Shalofa Man 29 says Nemo, Shore, Ryan, Pickard back down, $0 perfect balance. I cannot confirm those numbers, but sounds like Shalofan has done some work.
Yeah.
We appreciate the comments. Oh, look, I think we are on YouTube because we're getting some comments on YouTube too. Yamo keeps getting hurt. There's one from CD Locals for sure. That's been an issue. We'll have to find out as the team arrives back in town here. I'll be at practice tomorrow. We'll see what's going on with Yamo. Okay, let's get to the breakdown of last night's win in Vegas. Brought to you by DLR Vinyl Products. DLR Vinyl supplying some of the nicest maintenance-free fencing and decking products out there. If you've got that wood fence or that wood deck in your backyard and you're kind of worried about it because there's just work staring you in the face. You just know that it's coming. Well, DLR Vinyl has a solution for you. Maintenance-free decking and fencing. They do fantastic. They have fantastic products that last a really long time. They look great when they go in, and it stays that way. They've got locations in Calgary and in Edmonton that is DLR Vinyl Products. So normally I try and direct the conversation a little bit here, Struddy, but I'm going to just kind of lob this one out there. Man, I'm distracted by how good my shot looks. Like it just
you are
like zooming out like that made all the difference.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I've noticed you've been distracted most of the morning, so I'll carry this podcast like I do 80% of them. So it's no problem.
You take it where you want. Where do you want to start with that game? I'm just going to look at my background and how cool my blue lights are.
Yeah. So I've I've been, as I watched the last 3 games, I'm watching the team that I saw play in the second half of the season in the playoffs last year. And it's, they have the same jump. They have the same, like the way they're reloading. And to me, the definition of reloading is when you're in the offensive zone and the puck is moved, let's say, up the wall, you reload above the guy you're checking, right? Okay. So you now that guy has to skate through you in the net, or skate through you to get to your end or to their net. And they're playing with more energy. They're attacking with the puck. That is what I saw last year in the playoffs. And it was so much fun to watch. And when you watch, I don't care what level you're talking about, whether it's NHL all the way down to Adam or U11, where they call it, when you see a team playing with that kind of energy and that kind of attention and to detail, it's fun to watch. And I'm really enjoying watching the Oilers play. There's been spurts of this, but we haven't seen consistently. So we are seeing the way they played last year, these last 3 games, and Oilers fans should be very happy about that.
They put up a stat last night during the broadcast, and I'm pretty sure on the broadcast, Scott Oak wanted to credit Bob Stauffer for it. So I think these numbers were pulled via our friend Stoff. So we will, even through one other person, we're going to credit him because it is a good stat. It was talking about how strong the Oilers are in the second half, right? The last 3 years, significant improvements in their winning percentage in the second half of the year. For whatever reason, they're a second half team. So Oiler fans can take some solace in that. But Struds, we are definitely seeing some qualities seep back into their game that they've been around. They've been searching for, but they haven't been able to grab onto. And you just talked about some of the structure play. You talk about some of the, the attention to detail defensively and starts. They're a team that has not been able to get control of their starts all year long. And it's 3 games in a row now where they've come out and they've gone about their business the way they want to go about their business. Now, the first 2 you can say, oh, yeah, but look at the opposition. Well, it was the second night of back-to-backs, and they did the same thing against Vegas.
It was great. And let's talk about how they're getting everyone into the game. They're playing everybody. So you look at the starting lineup last night. Connor McDavid, obviously he makes any line a borderline second line or third line, but with Derek Ryan and Holloway. So you're starting what, I don't even know what they are. Let's just call them the third line. You're starting your third line, and it says a ton because you know what? Now you're coming out with some other really good players after that, but you're Derek Ryan and Holloway, like, holy geez, we get to start this game in a back-to-back night, Saturday night hockey. We're getting jacked up. We're ready to go. Right away, they're into the game. And I love that. I've been saying that. They need to get everyone more ice time into the game. And as you look at it last night, I believe the ice time was pretty even. Now obviously your top guys are going to play a little more, but I think the bottom guy was 9, just under 10, I believe. That's a long ways from what we saw earlier from 4 and 5s.
100%. And it's a great point, man. You look at the distribution of the ice time and the way everybody was involved. This 11-7, this 11-7, this coaching staff and 11-7, they like it. I think they function comfortably within it. They've tried it a few times and it hasn't worked, but it's been working for them because they've had usable players on the blue line. They've had guys they bring in, and it allows them to change up the minutes on the back. It allows them to kind of free flow up front. All right, they're kind of wing-dinging it with some of the combinations because you got 11 forwards, and then they're finding things that are working. They're doing a good job with it. Let's get to the Weiss Johnson soundbox. Here is Jay Woodcroft, and I have lost my list, so I'm grabbing it quick. Where is it? Whatever. If it's the wrong clip, it's the wrong clip. Jay Woodcroft talking about their game.
If you want to single some people out, how about the game Matthias Janmark played? And I'm not just talking about the goal, but the energy that he played with. I saw Klim Kostin diving in front of shots. I saw Derek Ryan working back on a penalty kill to negate a sure goal at our net. I saw Leon Draisaitl get, a finished check on their best defenseman in Peter Angelo. I saw Nugent Hopkins. So when we have that type of competitive will about the team, I think it's contagious.
Yeah, and you see it last night. I agree with Jay Woodcroft. Like, you had some guys that went out and really went about their business the right way, and by the end of that game, I mean, they had everybody on board last night, Struds.
Feels good. You want to be a part of it, man. You don't want to be sitting there and not do what everyone else is doing. So he put out some great examples of guys that had it, but everyone got to play and everyone feels valued. And that makes you want to do more of it. And then you go out there and you see you do it again. Now someone else sees you do it and they want to be a part of it. So, you're talking about culture here, talking about, everyone buying in, like all the cliches that, the fans and the media don't want to hear from players, but that's what we're talking about here. That's what we're seeing. And we've seen it now for 3 games, 3 really important games for this team. They've got themselves involved in a fight. They're not winning the fight stats points wise, but they're involved in a fight. And now they have a huge game on Tuesday. Who would have thought that we'd be saying Seattle and Edmonton is a huge game on Tuesday? Because
Seattle's been playing
6 goals in the first period last night. Like, come on, that's crazy. But that means they're due. The Oilers have beat them once. And then after that, they're before their break, Schauger, they don't have the hardest lineup. Like, let's be honest. So these are some significant points that are up for grabs. And I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but they need to play this way with energy, and they got to bring that game back home Tuesday.
Yeah, Jay Woodcroft made that point after the game. He was like, it's time to bring this home. Like, it's time now. Seattle, this is they started and finished their road trip in Edmonton, right?
Yeah, crazy.
So pretty successful road trip so far. I don't know. Maybe they're happy. Maybe you can catch them snoozing a little bit, feeling good about the trip. It's a decent matchup for the Oilers anyway. So let's get to the West. Yeah.
Sorry, Schauger, just quick. I don't think you want them snoozing. I think you want to beat them. You want to beat them at their best so that they're like, oh man, maybe we're not as good as we think, and these guys are coming. Like, I don't want a team tired. I want to take them down, and I want to beat them on the scoreboard, but I want to beat them all over the ice.
Zachary 1986 says, boys, is there another place to listen live other than Twitter? Yes, there is, Zachary. As far as I can tell, we're still up on YouTube. So if you search Got Your Back, Gotyer, back on YouTube, you'll find our YouTube feed. And I believe we're up on YouTube. So go ahead and we'll wait for you. No, we're not going to wait for you, Zachary. We'll see you in a minute. Detox 81. Agreed about Vinny, but Broberg is really coming to his own and playing like a top 4 D-man. Great comment there from Detox 81. Struds, you've liked Broberg. His minutes were down last night. I would say just a touch. I mean, he was 12 or something like that. But I would say that Desharnais moved the dial in a similar way last night as much as Broberg.
He did. We got to be careful here. I like Desharnais. I think he's been very positive things he's done. But if we're looking at upside, the upside between Broberg and Desharnais are very different.
Yeah. And we'll get to Desharnais in our takeaways segment, so we can dig in on him. But go ahead.
I want to get this. Did you read this one at Detox 81? I really like Desharnais. If you can show consistency, I can see Holland giving up Broberg in a trade if Desharnais can continue to play this consistent. And I cannot get behind that at all. I'm sorry.
That's aggressive.
After 3 games, Detox. And I understand. I love the enthusiasm, much like Schauger has for his new background. But so you can't.
I'm going to change the color in just a second.
You just, suggesting that Broberg can now be shaken loose. Oh, it does look nice, by the way. You can have Broberg shake loose because the way Desharnais playing is different. Because Desharnais, I believe, is a third pairing. My projection for him, I don't want to put limits on players, but I envision him as a 15, 18-minute defenseman, being hard on guys, the odd fight, and killing penalties. That is my vision of him. He's not a big guy to carry the puck up the ice. I don't envision him carrying it out of the ice or carrying it out of the zone like I think Broberg will do. So they're different players. Can they both be on the team? 100%. Yeah. But it's not one now is here and Broberg can leave. They got to be very careful.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
That's a much different conversation. Much different conversation.
We'll dig into Desharnais in a couple of minutes, and I do agree. That was a good clip. By the way, if you want to let me know on Twitter what color you prefer, I've got green up now. What other options do I have? I can do like a pink. I think I got a, is there a pink? No, I don't have pink. Maybe a red. Got a red? There's a red. I will leave it red for a bit. What do you like? Any votes?
I like the green. I like the green.
Like the green better? Okay. Well, we'll switch it back if somebody else likes the green. We'll go back to the Weiss Johnson Twitter mentions here. We'll remind you that with 45 years in the business, should you need a new furnace, garage heater, air conditioner, hot water tank, or any of these things serviced, Weiss Johnson is the place to go, and they got some awesome sales happening right now. No GST on garage heaters. And also 20% off all in-stock air conditioners when you purchase a furnace. So a couple real nice winter sales going on at Weiss Johnson. Jingle. Hey, Dustin Waters says, go back to the orange. Well, we wanted the orange.
Well, oh, Dusty.
What did you think? Okay, I'll go back to the orange here. This is not, well, but the orange, some of the colors kind of shimmer a little bit. Kind of shimmer. So if that's distracting, I'll change it. Anything good from the mentions? I sent that tweet earlier. There were some real good comments in there asking people their thoughts, Strud. So maybe you can go to that for a second. Shello fan says red looks evil. We need big physical D-man, yes, but Broberg has a way higher ceiling, says Dustin Waters. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. What else we got?
I'll get to one here from Original Posar at Coop C39.
Okay.
Third game in 4 nights and fifth and 8, different arenas, and they absolutely locked it down the third. One scoring change against in the third. Great and gritty effort. Enjoy the day off today, boys. I'm guessing he's directing that to the players and not to us. You know what? I agree with him. You the first game on that road trip was a mess, like the penalty kill, and I guess maybe you call that an outlier, but it was just a mess of a game, and they've bounced back solidly, collecting 6 of 8 points, which you need to do on that road trip. They had to get 6 to kind of get in, back in it. But the starts were huge, but also the lockdown the third period last night, that cannot be overstated.
Yeah.
That team was coming, and it wasn't just the forwards or the D or the goalie. It was everyone working hard. And really, quite frankly, in many ways, controlling that period. And that's the team that I remember from last year. That's what we've been waiting for. And quite frankly, Sugar, that's the standard the team set. I'm not setting it. You're not setting it. They set that standard for themselves. Yeah. And those are the expectations.
Completely agree. Leon Draisaitl talked a little bit about that last night. We'll go back to the Weiss Johnson soundbox here. Which one is he? I think he is this one. Here's Leon Draisaitl.
This part of the year for us is...
That's Matthias Janmark. Here's Leon Draisaitl.
I think we're finding our game a little bit, finding our identity as a team, and I think guys individually are starting to slot into where they're most successful, and that obviously goes a long way. So it was good effort again. I think we've been playing some good hockey lately. So
let's have an appreciation moment for the blade on Leon Draisaitl's stick. That goal. Yeah. Like the play he made outside the blue line with that ridiculous stick of his, knocking it down. Then he goes to the net, bats it out of the air with that ridiculous blade that he has. The puck skills on this guy with that stick, Struddy, it's like otherworldly. It's so unique and so different and so rare to see a blade shaped like that and this level of skill from a guy that big.
I think we have to also appreciate what he's teaching other players. So he comes in and scores that goal off the rush. Yeah. What does Clem Costin do a short time later? Same shot, same place, same
That's a great point.
So you don't think Clem watched that?
Yeah, that's a great point.
And so credit, I mean, it's hard to credit Leon for being great, but people are watching him, but credit Clem for watching what Leon did. They did the same thing. To me, it was the same shot. Now, I wasn't a noted goal scorer, but it looked like the same thing to me, same look, same side, same everything, right? So that's what's happening. But what I love, Shagar, and we haven't seen this a lot, is the guys that look like they're having fun. Like now they're scoring and there's some smiling. There's some, even when Janmark scored, I don't know if you noticed, but he came off and Connor was right there, pat him on the head.
No, I think that was after a chance. It was after a good chance. You're right. But it was a great effort and a good chance. And he comes back to the bench. I mean, this is a guy that was in the minors earlier this year. Right. This is a guy that's he's laying it out there for the group right now. 100%. McDavid, just that affection. It's just he gets back to the bench and he gets affection from McDavid, right? And you can feel the gel. Yeah.
Connor's saying, thank you. I appreciate what you're doing. Not as the captain, not as the greatest player, as a teammate. Thank you. And you don't think other guys see that? So when Connor acknowledges that, it goes so far. And I can, when I was younger and fighting a lot, I remember when I would get in a fight and Mark Messier would come over and be like, just give me a tap. That's all. He didn't have to say anything. I'd be like, thank you for acknowledging what I did. And not that I did it for the taps, but it goes a long ways. So the next time there's a problem, I was right there, right? I was always, and so similar things. So I love that moment from Connor, and they're having fun, they're enjoying it, and it's supposed to be hard. It was a hard game. It's supposed to be hard. You score, they score. You score. That's the way it's supposed to be. And I loved it, man. I just, God, it's so much fun when the team plays this way, to watch them play. It's great hockey.
Jack Campbell too. He's getting his groove back a little bit here. He's playing well. He's put together some good starts, back-to-back games, confident play in both of those starts. Struds, this is a really, really good sign that Jay Woodcroft is now going to have two goalies to choose from who, in the moment, and we'll see what happens here with Skinner, right? He's off and waiting to have the baby, and I haven't heard if they have or not yet. But it's so much better to have the guy that you're paying the money to playing well, and then another guy that's gonna be pushing him, and they're gonna be pushing each other in a healthy way.
It's another player contributing. That's what I look like. The money, I don't really care about the money mid-season. Like Jay's not thinking, oh man, I got $5 million, not doing anything. He's like, I need this player going. Just like Janmark's going, just like Holloway's going, just like Broberg's going. Like you have more people contributing to success. So I think it's great. I've been saying it for weeks. They need this guy. They need him to be, playing like he can. Now, is that better than Skinner ultimately? I don't know. When it comes down to a must-win game, who do they put in? I hope it's a hard decision. I hope in 2 months we're sitting here like, shit, I don't know which guy they should play. That would be a good problem, but they should have that throughout the lineup where guys are fighting for ice time. So positive development. And Campbell looks good. He looks bigger. He looks confident. A couple of nice glove saves. Like it's great. It's positive, very positive.
So decision time. Let's assume that things settle on the home front for Stuart Skinner. Seattle's rolling into town. This is an important game. Remember, Skinner is the starter. Was the starter. I don't know. What are you doing on Tuesday night? You just rolled Campbell in back-to-back, and overplaying him isn't great. So is it obvious just go to Skinner? I mean, they're getting a day off today, so there's going to be rest. What do you do if Skinner's available?
Not even a question. Campbell's in the pipes. Not even
really
a question. Skinner hasn't been practicing. He hasn't been doing, and his mind hasn't been towards hockey where it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be.
Do we know that he hasn't been on the ice? Like maybe he has. I don't know the answer to that.
Maybe.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know who's shooting on him.
But that does matter, though, if he has or has not been on the ice. Yeah, for sure.
100%. So to me, it's not even a question. It's Campbell. Not even. I don't even flinch. Skinner, welcome back. Hey, congratulations on the day. We love you. Have a couple days to get ready. Guess what, buddy? You're playing Thursday. Great. Awesome. Thanks, man. Go. And that's you got to build off of what Campbell's doing here. He's feeling it. Put him in there, man. Put him in there. To me, I'm surprised you're even bringing it up.
Really?
Remember,
Stuart Skinner's the starting goalie.
Not right now.
Are you forgetting all that time that Stuart Skinner played fantastic? Are you forgetting that run of games where he was stopping like 43 of 45 shots and having 920, 930 save percentage games where he was the more reliable guy and that Campbell's game was a mess? Does not any of that account for anything? Did he not earn anything from any of that?
So when did the Oilers leave on this? He played Monday in LA, correct? And then Tuesday he came home. So when's the last time he'll have touched an NHL player's shot?
Oh, I'm not sure. Yeah,
Monday.
would have been a little while
ago. It'll be last Monday and then this Monday. So is it fair to put a guy in who hasn't touched NHL player's shot in 6 days?
Good point.
In a big game.
Very good point.
It isn't. It's. I'm
just saying, like it's. No. I think you're right. I think as we talk this out, I think you're right. I think Campbell is the right guy to go with. But in the bigger picture, in the balance of who's the starter,
but players don't even think that way. I haven't been practicing. I haven't been around. I haven't.
Okay, but moving forward, say right, like moving forward, they've got important games coming up. Is it now? Are we back to a 1A, 1B? Is it a 1 and a 2? Is it because coaches make decisions based on where the balance is between two goalies, right? So have these performances from Campbell been enough to kind of shift that? Does Stuart Skinner come back into I guess we're splitting it. Let's go.
So,
or don't you have to kind of lose that?
They have to keep the momentum going for Campbell. So I would do this. I would play Campbell on Tuesday, and I'm going to assume that Skinner has a baby and he's back practicing this week.
Yep.
I put Stewart in the next game, and then maybe after that I alternate till the break. Like they need this momentum from Campbell. They cannot lose this progress that he's showing because they are going to need him. And I keep saying it, they're going to need him, man. And so Tuesday he plays. It's not even no brainer. Then you can play Skinner after that.
Yeah.
Then you can put Skinner in there, and then maybe you just alternate, man, and then figure it out. Like these guys are buddies, they're friends. When Campbell was struggling, I didn't get the sense that Campbell was resentful of Skinner or he was, crap talking him away from the rink. Like they're partners, and the coach is going to do what he thinks is best for the organization and for the two players themselves. So I probably, buddy, I'd alternate out. What do they have? 5 games before their break? I think 5. I'm at 5 or 6.
Where are we at?
I'd alternate around.
Seattle, Tampa, Canucks, and then a break.
Yeah, they have 5 games left before their break. So 5 games between now and the 28th. I might just alternate them out, man.
They got a bit of a break next week, too. They got 3 days between games. By the way, I need to put my schedule, up here. I can't keep turning around every podcast when I need to look at the Oilers schedule. A couple good comments here. Guy Dash says, initially I thought Skinner, but I'm on board with Struddy's argument.
Yeah. But don't get me wrong. This isn't a situation where a player's gone away and he's hurt and he's coming back and losing his job. The player hasn't been on the ice. So it's not that he lost his job. He's just not ready. So even if it was a situation where you had Shesterkin and then Joaquin Gage, then yeah, of course you're going to play Shesterkin coming back from that. Those lazy glove hands of Gager, you're not even thinking twice. But
he's not even here to defend himself.
No, I know it's the best time. It's the best time to kick someone in the nut.
Let's see if he can jump on the pod here with us. He's getting chirped badly by you. I like that. Okay, let's take a pause here for a second. Strud, see if you want to grab another comment or two. Okay. We're going to get to Vinny Desharnais in just a minute here. Reminder that we are up live on YouTube as well. If anybody wants to check us out over there, trying to get both those platforms going. Want to dive in on Vincent Desharnais? You got one more comment there, Struds, you want to grab?
Yeah, this is a pretty big one actually from QJ, Quincy Jones. He says, thoughts on how Holloway has performed on Connor's wing and how long he'll stay up there. What changed and what he's thinking to give him a chance in top six? Well, obviously you must listen to the podcast because you've been pushing this for a while, Shogger, and you've been right. The two things I think have changed. One is at the 11-7. So
yeah, he's not really on Connor's wing. He's on a set of wingers that McDavid funnels through sometimes.
That's right. But I think that's the greatness of the 11-7 is that, again, any line you want to put Connor on becomes maybe a second line, right? Like it's crazy. He takes a fourth line and makes it a second line. And so that's one thing that changed. But I think also that, Dylan's he's and not that he hasn't been doing this, but he's getting more minutes. And the getting more minutes has a big deal. It just feels like you're in the game. So yeah, he took that penalty yesterday. Yeah, it's not a deal, but he's learning on the fly, man. You got to accept that. And I think maybe Jay's just said, okay, I'm going to take some of these exuberant penalties and live with it.
Had another one good here from Dennis Myron. Nuge's line is playing awesome. So many chances, controlled the play.
Yeah.
Kostin, Janmark, huge value. So could you see Janmark, Nugent Hopkins, and Kostin being a line that is still together when the puck drops if the Oilers make the playoffs? Like, have they found something here with these three that is working in a way that you could see it continuing to work? Like Kostin and Janmark, their consistency. Can they do this?
Wow,
they're playing great right now.
Yeah, ask me in 2 months. But I mean, if they're delivering, how can you take them apart? Like, what did they have that line? They had 2 goals. They had 2 goals, 5-on-5, or the ones that shorthanded by Janmark?
I'll check the summary here.
I'm sorry. But anyways, as a group, the line had 2 goals, right? Yeah. And whether they were 5-on, I want to say, but anyway, so
Janmark's was even strength, and Kostin's was even strength. Looks like.
Okay, so maybe So sometimes the games kind of
blend together.
Blend. So I think that yes, I do think. I mean, they're delivering, and I think we're not giving maybe Nugent Hopkins enough credit. He is really having a good season.
Well, he's driving. He's driving.
He is,
right, and we've wondered about that. He's been complimentary, but he's driving.
So he on one, that's one line, and then you have another line with Leon, another line with Connor, and you get Kane in there. Hyman maybe is Hyman with probably goes back to Draisaitl, I guess, or do you keep him with Kane?
Well, it depends a little bit where Yamamoto is, like what his, if he's available. Yeah. But I mean, the top 6 is looking. You can keep that line together because your top 6 is going to get healthier here, right? With Kane coming back, and then when Yamamoto comes back.
Right, but the challenge now is that if that is your third line, if Nugent Hopkins, Janmark, and Kostin are third line, there are significant players that are falling down, getting pushed out. I'm talking Fogle, I'm talking Puljujarvi, I'm talking McLeod, Holloway, but that's the competition. That's the competition we're talking about. And so, you can only. We can talk, sometimes when fans say, well, he's making this much or this, so he should be playing much. You earn it. This is the time of the year where you earn your ice time. Kostin and Janmark may combine $2 million, $2 million, or just above, slightly above $2 million. So, it's like, too bad. If you're not playing, you got to earn that spot. So Fogle or whomever, has to bully their way into that spot by trying to find ice time. And the problem is they're going 11-7. More guys will be outside looking in. It's going to be harder to get in. But that's the competition you want, Shug.
It's got to make sense to the players, right? And the players know, Struddy. If the coach is making decisions, it's got to make sense to the players, right?
Come on. Yeah, 100%, man. So listen, Oilers, this is a good problem to have. It's if we say that line will be together for the next the rest of the season, and they play well, that's too bad for the rest of the guys. Like, I don't know what to tell you. That's just, it's a positive development because someone's has grasped the opportunity.
Costin, what an ad. Like,
can't believe it. Now, can he keep scoring this much?
I have no idea. He tried to scrap, was it Colasar last night? He was, he tried to stand up for Draisaitl. I'm not sure what happened there with Woodcroft, but whatever. They decided not to have the fight happen, but he wanted to. The intention was there. He's throwing hits. He's bombing into guys. Like, he's everything that they needed.
But you got to keep in mind, whether or not he continues to score, to me is irrelevant. Well, not irrelevant, but it's important to him and it's important to the team. But someone else needs to see that and be pushing to take his spot when he falls out, if he does fall out. So I'm looking at you, Fogle. I'm looking at you, McCulloch. I'm looking at all these guys like, you got to wait because right now this guy has grasped it and is running hard with it. Hard, and you can't take him out. Can't take him out of that spot. Why would you do that?
Okay, that was a breakdown brought to you by DLR Vinyl Products and through the magic of technology. Check out the graphic over your head, Struddy. It's about to go and change to Sherwood Buick GMC because it is time for takeaways. Brought to you by Sherwood Buick GMC. Just off Baseline Road on the way into Sherwood Park, the #1 GMC dealership in all of Canada for 5 years running. My Sierra 150 is parked out on the drive, or 1500 is parked out on the driveway right now. It's beautiful. It's just an awesome truck. It's been all new, redesigned. They got a wide variety of trims that are available. The Denali Ultimate is the ultimate. You definitely want to check that out. And they have inventory too. So if you're thinking about a new vehicle, definitely consider Sherwood Buick GMC. It's the giant dealership just off Baseline Road on the way into Sherwood Park. Okay, Vinny Desharnais will be the topic of our quick takeaway segment here. Give me your synopsis on... We've watched a lot of defensemen break into the NHL and try and find a foothold. What is your thought on what you've seen from Desharnais in his first salvo? Because sometimes it's tough for guys and sometimes it doesn't go well. Samorukov. What have you seen from him so far, Struddy, given that you want to be careful? I know you want to be cautious.
You got to be very careful. So I always evaluate players after their first 10 games because oftentimes you come in your first 10 games, you're not really thinking about what you're doing when playing the NHL. And to be fair, the team's playing well. Now, maybe he has had an impact on that. Not maybe. I think he has had an impact on that. But you got to be careful evaluating 3 games and suggesting that he's ready to push out Broberg. That's a pretty tall ask. Yeah. But what I've seen so far is an older player who's coming in, understanding probably he doesn't have a lot of kicks at the can at the NHL. And he wants to take full advantage of this. So he's bringing energy and he's a very confident player. I like to see the plays he's making. I did not expect the type of play making he's making. Now, I'm not talking about this guy making Leon Draisaitl type passes, but he's making the easy play in the right spot. One thing I noticed is every time someone comes towards the net, his stick is up in a cross-check position and he's giving the guy a little cross-check. There are very few defensemen on the Oilers that do that regularly. He does it every time. And I like that. Now, he's not, taking penalties. In that situation, he is taking some, but I like what he's doing. So confidence and physicality and a better level of playmaking than I expected. And so he's earned the spot. He earned another, 13 minutes last night.
Yeah, let's go over the minutes distribution, and in particular on the blue line. So the interesting thing with Desharnais is he plays the right side, right? So much of the Oilers' strength on the blue line in the minors is coming up that left side, or was with Broberg and Samorukov at the time, had some good looks in the American League, and Niemelainen as well. Well, now they got this guy over on the right side, so it starts to push other guys where the Oilers are a little more solid. So Evan Bouchard, who has been better lately, and I don't think played poorly last night. I thought he was fine. 13 minutes and 32 seconds last night, 12-18 at even strength. You got Desharnais, 11:43 at even strength. He played almost the same even strength minutes last night as Evan Bouchard, Struts.
Yeah, but those minutes also have to come from somewhere else because that means Ceci and Barry also are playing less 5-on-5, and maybe that's a good thing. Not
15:50 for Tyson Barrie, by the way, 15:01 at even strength.
Yeah. So I think it's a good thing that Bouchard's minutes are coming down a little bit. And when Darren is out there, it's a different look. It's a different look. But I agree, Bouchard's been playing. He's playing much better, as has Broberg. And Darren has come in. And I think that when you distribute the minutes out a little bit more, it just becomes easier for everyone. And having another big, legit penalty killer out there, I think Dave Manson is enjoying that.
To Luis Johnson, Twitter mentions Shello Fan Man 29, who's getting lots of love here on the podcast today, but he's throwing in some good comments. He's so confident and knows where he's at. Very mature. Matty Lyon says he was on the ice in the final 2 minutes last night. They've got 7 defensemen in the lineup. You have your choice. You've got choices to make. When you're tapping that guy that late in the game, I mean, that's for Dave Manson. That's just, you've put together a good few games and you've earned some confidence. And really, a coach's confidence in you in your first week in the league, that's everything.
Yeah, well, there's a relationship. So the coach knows him, right? They would know him from the time in the minors. So there's trust there, knowing he can do. And it's trusting to be in the right position and blocking shots, all that kind of stuff. But, he played the 4th most minutes shorthanded last night. So that tells me there's the first 2, obviously, CC Nurse. And then you're wheeling out with Kulak, Darnay. Like that's probably when he put it on the board. That's who we're putting out there. So that means he's leapfrogged those other 3 guys. I mean, Barry doesn't kill a lot of penalties, to be fair, and Bouchard and Broberg. But very, very good start for him. But let's revisit this after 10 games, right? Because it's always dangerous. You get to that 10th game, you're like, oh boy, I'm in the NHL. This is crazy. Look what I'm doing.
You're not making any decisions different based on what you're seeing right now. Like if you're Ken Holland, this is not moving the dial in terms of what does this team need. No. He's just a guy that's building a case for himself, and he's starting to build that case for himself as to what he might be able to be. Here's Jay Woodcroft in the Luis Johnson soundbox on Darnay.
Just little things like his box outs and getting inside position. He's a big man. In the American League, we call them the seaweed man, because players have to swim through seaweed to get to our net. And he's a very likable kid. He lays it on the line every night, and he gave us a contribution tonight to help us win.
I mean, I know what they're going for there in the old American League, but the seaweed man, is that, I don't know. I think that seaweed, maybe just seaweed.
I didn't like it. I didn't like that whole. I've heard that one before, and I didn't like it. I still don't like it. I don't really. I understand what he's saying.
My seaweed.
It's hard. It's hard to get through him, and I'm saying the same things Jay says. It's hard to get through to the net on him, and it's a stout defending.
97 Orange Crush says Darnay is the Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower. I don't know. That's probably better than seaweed. We're gonna have to think of something different for Vinny Darnay for sure.
It's a work in progress.
Well said. This is notable and is earning him a 2-year deal. This is a good time for a guy late in a year like this, or the second half of the year, to come in, get some games, and prove to them that you belong and can belong in the National Hockey League. How much more time does the team have for Bouch? The same player in 149 games as he was in game 50. That comes from D Cards. Do you agree with that? Is he the same player in game 149 that he was in game 50? Has there been evolution?
I think we're seeing an evolution. Unfortunately, it takes time. That it's just, this is a very talented player, and I hesitate to give up on very good, talented players. You can't. He had a good playoff run last year. Like the second half of the season, the playoff run, he was excellent. This year, it hasn't gone the way he wants, but he's starting to turn it around a bit. He's starting to get it going. So you just can't, you can't just give up on people when they're not playing the way you want all the time. Like I don't understand that mentality. We are so right now. We got to think right now about these players. We want to get. If you're not playing great, you're out. It's a very dangerous game, and there's no way I'm trading this guy away.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he should go anywhere. But having people push him. The other thing I saw from him that I liked, Struddy, was I thought in the playoffs, you know how the temperature goes up in the playoffs and you really wonder, like, what are you going to get from people? And I thought he did a good job of getting the game to that level. And while he might struggle game 1 through 82 to find whatever was summoned out of him in the playoffs, I think it's valuable to know that when the puck drops in the postseason, a guy's done it before and shown that he can step outside his comfort zone a little bit. Like, that matters to me.
What's funny, Noah, after we got off our debate the other day, someone put it up. I thought it was on one of our streams or text tweets, but they said, why is everyone so sure that Chikrin's going to be great in the playoffs? And I was like, God, that's a good one. I wish I would have thought about that. He has no playoff experience. He has no experience.
What part of his game is going to wilt in the playoffs? Because
I don't know. I don't want to get into the debate. I'm just saying, he has no experience. So Bouchard has how many games of experience compared to Chychrun? Same with Kulak. Same with and I don't want to get into this debate, but it is as you would say, it's notable.
Notable. I like that. Devin 444. What's going on with Yamamoto? Devin, I'm going to go down to the rink tomorrow and try and get some answers for you. So, all right. That was that was fun. We really appreciate everybody's interaction. There's some really good comments that came in there on both streams. So we thank you for all of your involvement. I enjoyed that. Struddy.
Yes.
What are the chances if I show up with a couple of these wood panels? Maybe
I was thinking about it.
What do you think, man? It's an easy fix.
It's funny. I am thinking about it. I think I will. I'm going to talk to my wife about putting it back up there.
You don't like if you honestly. I wonder how the look of our podcast would improve. You could keep your pictures. Yeah. But if you threw the same wood panels behind you that I have, and now we're matching.
Yeah. Let's do it. I love it.
They're on sale at Rona.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go take a look. Well, you know I love something on sale.
They're easy to install. Do you need help installing? Because I know that's a bit of an issue for you. Like not to invite myself over, but I can bring coffees. We can make an afternoon out of it.
Just so you know, since the last time you came over, I moved, but I didn't tell you. And I am going to put the wood panel. I'll go take a look.
Rona. Yeah, they're actually on sale out here in Sherwood Park. So and matching, but then we probably have to get you lights too of some sort.
I'm not. Yeah, come on, man. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe, but I'll start with the wood.
I'll talk to the financing department and Got Your Back, and we'll see. Maybe even Got Your Back and pick up some of the cost of your set design. Maybe.
You'll pay the state. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk.
I like it.
Let's not air our dirty laundry publicly.
Oh, people love this stuff. You kidding me?
Yeah.
By the way, if we do decide to make a change, we're not going to make it in like April. We'll just make it. And we'll just make a decision and do it.
Yeah. Okay. I love it.
All right. D-Card says, thanks for the pod, boys. Have a great Sunday. That's a great way to end it. Struds, you have a great Sunday, my friend. Thanks for doing this. And some important games this week. So we'll definitely be checking in with more live streams and more pods.
Can't wait, guys. Have a good night.
All right. Cheers, pal. As I click the button and we transition to the main title page. This is where we thank our sponsors, Mr. Dirk, DLR Vinyl Products, Sherwood Buick GMC, and Weiss Johnson as well. Have yourselves an awesome Sunday, folks. If you're checking out some NFL action, enjoy, and look forward to talking some more hockey as the new week approaches. Cheers. Oh, I timed that well with a nice music drop there.